All right, guys, so I thought this was be an important video, just a very short clip to show you of Donald Trump's biggest blunder since 2015. I don't think he's ever had a blunder or misread his base before to this extent. And I think a big reason and a big problem is Pam Bondi, and she has to go. Pam Bondi is his biggest weakness. Matt Gaetz should have been Matt Gaetz should have been the Attorney General under a recess appointment if it had to be. But this Epstein debacle would be and will be the downfall of the midterms if he doesn't correct it. I've never seen Trump take a hit like this before or make a bad call in the way he's done this, and it really upsets me to have to show this to you. But I feel like years from now, this is going to be the minute and the moment, if Donald Trump doesn't correct this, where he may get impeached again and lose because of this and the midterms. So let's watch this and see where he faltered.
American or foreign intelligence agency, the former Labor Secretary who was Miami U.S. Attorney.
Question about Jeffrey
Alex
Epstein.
Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency.
To Pam
so could
Bondi.
you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the set?
Yeah, sure. If I
Pam,
could,
could I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second?
Here we go.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That
I just have to stop it there for a second and respond to Trump, which I never thought I would do. No, Mr. President, we're talking about the tens of thousands of little children that have been raped, ruined, and disappeared, okay? And the fact that your cabinet members, one of which sitting to your right, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States, Dan Bongino, the Deputy Director of the FBI, and Kash Patel, the Director of the FBI, have all said their first goal was to release the Epstein files and put these predators behind bars. That's what we're talking about, Mr. President, not anything else.
is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time?
It is
Do you
unbelievable.
feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
just-
I mean, I
Disgusting.
can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Tens of thousands
Sure.
of young
First, to
kids
back
is
up
a
on that,
desecration,
in
Trump.
February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file.
That's a blatant lie. John Roberts asked her specifically, started out the question with, and we can review that coming up. He literally said to her, is the Trump administration, are you getting ready to release the Jeffrey Epstein client list? He didn't say, are you looking at the file? Are you reviewing the file? John Roberts literally asked her, are you going to release, is the Trump administration going to release the Epstein client list? And she said, I'm reviewing it now. The client list, not the file. She's a liar.
Along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn.
Okay, let me interpret that and respond to that. She's saying, oh no, Jeffrey Epstein didn't have sex with underage children and there were no clients. He just downloaded child porn video off the internet. Well, let me ask you a question, Miss Attorney General Pam Bondi, who was involved in this in 2008 in Florida and released Jeffrey Epstein with a sweetheart of a deal under Alex Acosta, who was then told he was part of Mossad and CIA to release him. Why is Ghislaine Maxwell in jail for 20 years if there are no clients? Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's confidant and girlfriend, is in jail for sex trafficking children and in jail for 20 years. Then she must be innocent and you need to release her.
porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day.
Nobody wants to see
him
child
being an
porn, you
agent,
dumb bitch.
I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every year, every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that.
Okay, so what she's saying, and it's such a lie, everything out of this woman's mouth is a blatant lie. That the prison cameras and the videos and the systems delete 1 minute every 24 hours. It makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense, and it's never going to make any sense. You're lying. And the video where you see people walking in and out of this cell block, the door you're looking at is all the way to the right. That's the main entrance to this whole floor, to multiple door entrances. The door that we were looking for is all the way on the other side of this video. You can't even see anything. So you don't know who's on that cell block. You don't know anything. The video literally shows nothing. So she says in the beginning of this argument it's definitive. Then she says it's not definitive. The video is worthless. And even if they bring back that minute, it's still going to show nothing. Okay? So quite frankly, everything out of this woman's mouth is a lie, and you can see how annoyed Trump is. Trump made the biggest mistake of his career with this response to this legitimate question from this reporter in this cabinet meeting, and the second biggest mistake of his career was appointing Pam Bondi. Every single one, from Laura Loomer to Tucker Carlson to, oh my God, I can't even, Megyn Kelly to every single one of his big supporters, his people out there that love him and that are followed by millions of people, want her gone. She is a problem. She's got a big mouth. She likes the camera too much, and she needs to be gone. And if you look at our Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, he literally looks like he is a prisoner in between two people that he wants to be nowhere near right now. He knows the truth. They all know the truth. And the fact that Pam Bondi keeps saying this one line, which is very disturbing, that we want to see child porn. We don't want to see child porn, Pam. What we want to see is the evidence that you have over decades, and quite frankly, the evidence of Jeffrey Epstein in 2008 when he was convicted of being a child sex predator, and he was a registered child sex predator, released because it was told that he was a member of Intel, okay? We want to see all that evidence, and we want to see the people, when you came out and said there are tens of thousands of children victims, we want to know who are the people that caused there to be all these victims. Who are the assailants? Who are the criminals? And then we'd like you to go and fucking arrest them. People, I just got to say this because it's so ridiculous. Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi always say the same thing. We're not going to rush anything. We're going to make charges stick. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And I'm going to say this directly to Trump. Trump, they raided your home in Mar-a-Lago with kill orders. They went through your wife's underwear drawer. They would have literally, if there was any problems, used any excuse to put Donald Trump down. Okay? That was the FBI under Merrick Garland and the Democrats and Joe Biden. The Republicans arrest no one. All they go after are illegal immigrants that are literally criminal illegal immigrants, and I'm glad they're getting them off the streets. But when it comes to powerful people or people that are part of the system, the Republicans do nothing. They're talking about John Brennan right now and James Comey. James Comey put an order out to assassinate the president, the sitting president of the United States, Donald Trump. 86-47 is what Comey did. And he's got people that are still in the FBI, people still in the deep state that Comey probably controls, that have firearms around our president, and he's walking around free. They know he's committed crimes. They just literally brought him in for a conversation with the Secret Service because of what he did. They literally know all the crimes these people have committed and could arrest them at any second. They refuse and decline to do so because they know when Trump is out of power that these people will come after them. They're afraid and they're scared and they're spineless. And quite frankly, it sickens me. They put anyone who looked on January 6th, the insurrection, the supposed insurrection, little old ladies that were standing there that never went into the building were thrown in jail. They hunted them down like dogs with SWAT teams. Went to their homes, little old ladies, old men, people with cancer, threw them in jail and allowed them to die for nothing. But they can't arrest people that we know have raped and murdered and hurt young children. Their moral compass is so far off, and it's so wrong. And I know that Donald Trump controls all of this. They keep saying they can't release the documentation, that it has to be declassified, that some things are under seal because of a judge, so on and so forth. You know who the one person is that can go around all of that and do it immediately? This man right here, Donald Trump. He can declassify anything he wants whenever he wants. He can make this bitch go out and put it all out in public immediately. The Justice Department is not independent of the White House. The White House controls everything. And if Trump wanted it released, he could declassify it, put his initials on it, and immediately release it. He doesn't want to for some reason. I think we all know what that reason is, and it's a country, the only democracy in the Middle East, a country that has their prime minister has been at the White House multiple times in the past week or two. I think we all know the reason for that, and as far as I'm concerned, that's no reason at all. And Trump better get his head out of his behind quickly. I support him. I care about him. I want him to be successful, but he's fracturing his base. And he's going to destroy everything he built if he doesn't be very careful. He underestimated the importance of the Epstein situation. Now let's just listen to the remainder of this lying, whatever she is. And when this is over with, whoever has any initiative to go and do anything, start calling for Pam Bondi to be removed and Matt Gaetz to be put under a recess appointment.
As well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
That's it. He's totally innocent.
August 1st, you said is the deadline. What incentives do countries have to negotiate? It seems that deadline keeps moving.
I've never seen Trump answer a question like that, and his whole goal was to embarrass the reporter, to get him to shut up and to have no one ask another question about that. What a mistake.